Hello there, I'm Daz. Welcome to my walkthrough of Nchardak. So there is Nchardak, close to the Sunstone, Tel Mithrin, and there is Raven Rock on the other side of the island of Solstheim. So we need to work our way through Nchardak in order to complete the quest. The Path of Knowledge. Master Neloth has already headed inside, so I'll catch him up in a moment. Now it's important to make a manual save before you enter this place. Nchardak is notoriously glitchy. Players can have problems interacting with the dwarven mechanisms, and actually this is my third attempt at making this walkthrough, because on the previous two attempts Master Neloth disappeared entirely. Past a certain point you can complete this without Neloth, but I want to try and stick to the script as much as possible, as this is a walkthrough, so let's get inside and hopefully nothing's going to go wrong this time.
You can see the book right here. So tantalizingly close. But trust me, no magic will open that. I'd have had the book already if it could. No, we'll have to do this the hard way. If we can restore the steam supply to this room, I'm certain I can open it. As you'll see, that's easier said than done. This way to the boilers. Follow me.
So unfortunately we've got to put up with Neloth, but it'll be worth it in the end. Right, he's following along on this occasion. So before we head further into the Great Chamber, I will just point out a little bit of loot that is tucked away down here. I am not loot hunting, I've already completed this and made a save. But I will try and point out all of the chests that I'm aware of. So that's one there with an expert lock.
Nchardak, the city of 100 towers. In its day, it was the largest of the great Dwemer archives, and perhaps the most advanced. In the old stories, when the Nords came to conquer it, it's said that Dwemer submerged the entire city beneath the sea until the invaders gave up. I have my doubts, but the city was a marvel of Dwemer engineering, now reduced to this. As you can see, most of the lower levels of the city are flooded, but it isn't hopeless. The old Dwemer pumps still seem to work. Watch. But the pumps only operate when a cube is in the pedestal. Unfortunately, I only have one cube. These 4 boilers provide steam to the room upstairs. They're shut down, but they still respond to the control cubes. So, if we can find 4 more cubes, we can turn these boilers back on and restore steam power to the room upstairs. Then I should be able to open the book's protective case. Bring that cube. We'll need it.
Okay, so it's important to keep a check on how many cubes you have in your inventory from this point forward. I'm going to race on a little bit.
Here we are. This device shows the location of 4 more cubes in this section of the city.
So the control switches give the control cube straight back to you. The control pedestals, however, will hold on to the cubes until you take them back. So at this point I have 2 control cubes.
These must be the great workshops of Nchardak. Impressive, even in ruins. In the city's days of glory.
So we can lower the water level in here by placing one of the cubes on that pedestal. And now we're going to trigger some enemies.
Must have come from here.
Okay, so we bring some steps down so we can get into the next area.
Now we can see if we can find a way to get that next cube.
Some nice loot on these centurions. Okay, so there is a chest tucked away in here with an adept lock.
Unfortunately, each cube we retrieve shuts down the corresponding. Huh? Who's there? No match for my magic.
Okay, so we can now head back into here, and we need to grab the cube to raise the water level so we can advance to the next area. Where's Neloth? Come on, fella. We've got work to do.
Let's see where this leads.
Okay, so this next cube, it's actually possible to miss if you go racing ahead. Okay, so here we are. Yeah, it's actually possible to leave this workshop area without that cube. Hate those things. I better wait for Neloth. Right, not again. Where is he? I wonder what would happen if I just murdered Neloth.
We need to find enough control cubes to keep the pumps running and to turn on all
God.
four boilers.
Right, I've decided I'm not going to wait for Master Neloth anymore. I suppose this demonstrates how messed up this quest is. But I will complete it anyhow. Hopefully he will magically appear at my side when I enter the aqueduct area. Oh, here he is. Okay, so we need to place a cube in each of these pedestals at this point. Excuse me. And now we have an optional area to explore down here. I'll let Neloth deal with the bad guy since he's been holding me up. So we can lower the water level further by placing the cube on this pedestal. We have a chest right there. And we now have access to this hidden area. So there we are. Now I can head back up towards Neloth. But first, be sure to grab this control cube and get it back into your inventory, because we do not need the water level to be this low. Okay, so Neloth's done his part of the bargain.
We need to find enough control cubes to keep the pumps running and to
Yeah,
turn
you've already
on
said that,
all
Neloth.
four boilers. We still have cubes to find.
Right. So we should be able to complete this quite quickly.
The last cube is somewhere in here. Hope it won't require more swimming around in this filth.
So before activating those switches, we have a chest up here. And the sequence
I guess
is
that must be the pump
left,
activator up there. But how to reach it?
then right.
We'll need to get all three of these bridges down in order to reach the pump control. That's it. Don't touch anything else. Quickly now. Who's there? By the fires of the hardly a chance. Is someone? No, that way. No better than to challenge the master wizard of the house cannot.
Right, so that's it for the enemies in this area. So we have a locked area here which we cannot access just yet, but I will get in there before leaving the aqueduct. Now before activating this pedestal, I'm just going to jump round here and grab some important loot. So I said we'd finish with the enemies, didn't I? But there is another one in here that I'd forgotten about. Okay, so we have a chest. Nothing amazing in there, but this is an important item. A Kagramez resonance gem, which will be needed to unlock another dungeon elsewhere on the island. We have a random enchanted dwarven bow. It's a hallowed bow in this case. I can now activate this control pedestal.
I have an idea. I'm going to go there and retrieve this cube once you find the last one within it. Good luck.
Right, it's playing silly beggars. It's not letting me interact with that. So let's see if this will fix it. This might actually be useful for any other players who are afflicted with this glitch. There we are, it now works. I wasn't kidding, was I, when I said this was a glitched mission? There's a floor trap there to avoid. I hate these spinning blades. Okay. So let's just make sure that Naloth is going to grab.
You have the cube. Good, good. Then I'll take this cube and we can be on our way.
Yep, he's doing his job properly.
Watch out. The water's surrounding
Okay.
the boat pumps shut down.
Naloth has grabbed that cube from the pedestal, so we can now access this locked area by hitting this right control switch, which raises that ramp and opens this gate. So we have a chest, random loot, and that is a random enchanted mace.
That was easier than I expected. I'm glad you were here to do all the hard work. With the cube I retrieved from the pumping pedestal, we should now have 5 cubes. Exactly what we need.
Right, so
Now
hopefully
see about getting those boilers started.
hopefully Naloth is going to follow me back out into the Grand Chamber. Oh, come on, man. Right, so I don't know where he went, but he's here now. I'll be glad to get this completed, to be honest. I've had enough of it. So make sure to
I picked up to start all the boilers.
make sure to get this one
Here,
off of
I
Naloth.
picked up this cube for you. Shall we get on with it?
And we can also take one of these now. It'll raise the water level, but not too high that it's going to affect this next phase. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. And there's going to be a centurion to deal with.
To have done it. Good. It took longer than I'd hoped, but at least it's finally done. Look out! Another steam centurion!
Okay, so some enchanted boots, enchanted axe, and some nice stuff in there as well. I'm going to leave all of that. I'm not collecting loot.
I'm going to head back upstairs and see if the reading room has steam. If so, it should be a simple matter to release the book.
Okay, so I'm not going to read the book during this video. I may do a walkthrough of the book as well, but I'm going to keep that separate. But I will head up and just make sure that everything has worked as it should. I did encounter a couple of bugs along the way that I managed to fix. Right, so Neloth, alright, he's here.
Yes, it worked. The steam is flowing. Now, it should be as simple as... That should do it. At last. I hope it was worth it. Please, be my guest. You deserve the first look.
Okay, so...
It could be very dangerous. These books are known to drive many people insane.
Yeah, stop talking, Neloth. So there we are. Managed to unlock the Black Book despite a few problems along the way.
Go right ahead. I have plenty to offer.
Hopefully people have found this useful. And thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.